The house, they had about 15 people living in there.
Wow.
We've already surpassed our monthly cash flow from our buy-to-let portfolio, doing rent-to-rent, probably in the first 6 months or something. We've got 13 properties.
Biggest month was?
Our biggest month was...
So we're live at the Rent to Rent retreat. I'm here with first class member Emine and Rob. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, good.
Really good, thank you.
Good.
Real, how are you finding the weekend?
Yeah, really good. Nice to come and refuel, chat to some people, network, feel inspired, see the others. It's been good.
Sick. And you got your first class award?
We did. That was nice.
How did that feel?
Yeah, good. It felt first class.
Yeah, literally. That means you're invited to the BRO retreat, which I'm super excited about. But yeah, I mean, let's just go back. So what was you doing before Rent to Rent?
So we've been buy-to-let property investors and developers. So we bought, refurbished, refinanced a few places, and then just put long-term tenants in them. That
Okay.
was I guess the 5 or 6 years before.
Perfect. And
Yeah.
how was that, and how sort of, I guess it developed over that time in terms of the performance? Did the interest rates hit you? Talk to us a little bit about that.
So actually the interest rates were all right back then.
Yeah.
So we were kind of sitting around the 2% mark.
Nice.
I've had a few remortgages since, so we were quite clever about it actually, because the interest rate went up I think to 3.8 or something. So we put our rent up, but then we took the garage out of the contract and rented that out separately for another £200.
Nice.
So we actually managed to balance out the extra £800 rent in addition to the rest of the mortgage that we're paying. So it was all right.
Sick. So you're doing buy to let, but down south, right?
Yeah. So
not
southwest
cheap.
London.
Not cheap.
No, it's not cheap. It takes a lot of money to get into, because they're all kind of 2 beds or 3 beds. So all in the region of maybe ranging from 3 to 700k.
Okay.
So yeah, the deposit is you need a hefty deposit. The stamp duty is just horrible.
Ridiculous, really.
Yeah.
Buying in personal name at that point.
So the first couple were in our own names, and then tax-wise, it made sense to put the others in a company.
Nice. So you're doing that, and then when did Rent to Rent come into the picture?
So Rob
Yeah,
was...
I'm looking at Rob because I know.
Yeah, Rob was listening to your podcast, blitz through all of your episodes. And I think I came across you once online, but I didn't have much time to look into it properly. He was like, I've been listening to this guy. He's called Simon. I really think we should get into the whole rent to rent thing. And I was like, I don't know, isn't surely the money in property is in owning the asset? So I always disregarded the rent to rent strategy, because I thought you have to own it. The real money is in the capital appreciation. But then he was like, it was really because of him. So he opened my eyes to the idea of how you can really increase your monthly cash flow, money in your pocket each month with... There's very low barriers to entry on piling up the deals with rent to rent. So, we've already surpassed our monthly cash flow from our buy-to-let portfolio, doing rent to rent, probably in the first 6 months or something.
Just crazy.
And we've been building that for 6 years. So there you go.
Yeah, mad, absolutely mad. So you heard about this guy called Simon. Listen to the podcast. By the way, if you missed the podcast, comment below, man, because I kind of decided to focus on the YouTube for a little bit. But I did really love those days, because those days there, I was just sort of still doing a lot of music. So I had a studio at home, and I just roll out of bed and record a podcast, just me, over 100 episodes deep, just talking about rent to rent on my own.
Why not?
Someone was listening. So you got in touch.
Yeah.
Was that an easy decision to join the mentorship, or what was your thought process?
Well, in the past, before we started our buy-to-let portfolio, we did do property training. So we paid money for that property education, and it paid off.
Right.
So we're very open to the idea of getting educated by someone who's been there, done it.
Yeah.
So that wasn't a barrier for us. I think the question really was, there was you, there was another couple of people who were offering rent-to-rent courses. So the decision was, who are we going to go with? But the fact that you're very relatable, like you are just like one of our friends, you know, the way you talk and present yourself, it's very like relaxed and just very relatable. And the kind of heights that you've achieved is where I would like us to be in a few years' time or less. And I thought there's no one better to do it than with someone who's at that level at the moment. So someone who's a bit too far ahead is probably, there's too much gap between us. You know, if someone who's got 2,000 units internationally, there's too much of a gap. But with you, I feel like we could potentially, like, it's within reach, like you've been there, done it, and you're here ready and happy to help other people. So why not kind of let you lead us?
Perfect. So we had that conversation, you got started, you decided to start doing this rent-to-rent thing. Like, how was that?
It was great. Obviously, we're very time poor because we've got 2 young kids, very demanding. They're 1 and 3 years old, and Rob's working full time, and I'm kind of trying to look after the kids and trying to like look after our buy-to-let portfolio. And so we're time poor, but I think I'm a good student. So your course was very good for me to do like a video at a time. Whenever I found half an hour in my day, I would just work through the videos. And so that was very manageable with like our lifestyle.
Perfect. So fast forward on, you got your first deal. Did it come easy?
I mean, compared to some other people, I guess it was kind of easy. We were very privileged, and we had the advantage of a friend who is a lettings manager in our area. So big advantage.
Perfect.
However, her company doesn't do company let, so we were actually the first one. So that was a big hurdle that she helped us get over. There was a lot of back and forth, and I didn't think it was going to happen, but our first 2 deals came from that. So that was really good. We definitely had a bit of, I remember we put a Gumtree ad out, and we had one guy call us from Gumtree saying, I've got a house, it's a 4-bed in Stockwell, why don't you come and have a look? So we were like, oh my God, amazing, central London, 4-bed house. Rob went to see it, he come back, he was like, I don't know. He's like, I don't know, it's in the middle of this massive estate, grimy looking estate. The house, they had about 15 people living in there.
Wow.
Breaking every rule under the sun. We were like, and it was just falling apart. So we were like, okay,
maybe not that one.
Maybe not. We were even stood thinking, oh, maybe we should renovate it a bit and, you know, like do this and that. Because at that point, we didn't have any other deals, felt a bit desperate. But I'm glad we walked away from that. And yeah, we had our first few deals from my friend. So that was good.
Perfect. Which got you the momentum. Since then, you've scaled. So where are you at now in terms of deals?
So now we've got 13 properties, and they are they're doing really well. Obviously, we're only 10 months into our journey, so we haven't done the full 4 seasons.
Sure.
We did start in September, so yeah, it's going really well. Occupancy's been like pretty strong, around 75% average, I think it was.
Nice.
And yeah, like some of them are just doing crazy numbers, like almost as much, if not more, than the guaranteed rent that we're paying. So
wow.
Yeah, but then obviously there's some others that are smaller, not doing as well, but they're still all making money at the end of the day. So
perfect. And if I'm not mistaken, you're closing in on that sort of £1 million of revenue.
Yeah.
Already.
So
biggest month was?
Our biggest month was 65k in June, like
crazy.
Total sales revenue. And after all our rents and bills are paid, then pre-tax is probably about 25k that month.
Wow. Unbelievable. Absolutely epic. Yeah. Surreal.
I know.
I mean, you knew it was going to happen.
I did know.
I mean, we talk about mindset, but yeah, can you just share what you said in there in terms of this self-fulfilling prophecy and how you approach the mindset part?
Yeah, I think we all get to wherever we see or think we are, and sometimes that's not even a conscious thought that we're having, it's a subconscious thought we're having. But and they say most of the thoughts you have today are the same as the ones you had yesterday, but if you're conscious about what those thoughts are and what your vision is and where you're headed, the more clarity you have on that, the more accurately you're going to find that unfold for you. So for me, I like to really take advantage of that fact and have a clear vision in my mind and just repeat that to myself every opportunity I get. If I'm on the loo, in the queue, if my kids are napping, or if I'm on a train, like any opportunity to just sit and daydream and think about that being my reality, like it's already here, like I can taste it in my mouth, and I'm grateful for that being my reality, then that is just, I think, a superpower for anyone. Like, I just want everyone to maximize that. It's my favorite thing about life.
Crazy. And I can testify to that, because that's exactly what you said on the first call. And here we are.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Absolutely,
Thank you.
absolutely. Well, guys, you've smashed it. I'm really, really proud of the progress, and I'm privileged to be part of your journey, and I'm excited for the future. For anybody watching that thinks rent to rent is not real, thinks it's not possible, thinks this is all a fugazi, what would the biggest piece of advice be, apart from the mindset one you just shared?
There's always going to be an endless to-do list. Endless. So be good about prioritizing and picking out the key things in your to-do list that are going to be the ones that get you closer to that, the ones that have the biggest impact on where you're trying to get to.
Love that. Absolutely epic. Thank you so much, Rob, the unsung hero. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for listening to the podcast, and obviously it's worked. And, I'll speak to you guys very soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care.